Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We are supposed to get to a high of 92 today. It is 7 a.m., 62 degrees outside. I just harvested a tiny handful of berries. And we'll need to do a little feeding with my other plant food today because I only used one when I fed the other day. And that is a helicopter coming over. I'm telling you, these flying objects seem to know when I am outside. I haven't done a video in a few days because I have not been 100%. Sinus allergy stuff finally did me in, so I've been resting. But a handful of berries. A couple of things have happened in the last couple of days. I'm going to have to replace the inlet fan. It got wet, the motor did, so I'm going to replace it, and I'm actually going to bring the inlet fan inside of the greenhouse, so that means I get a chance to dig. Yay! So I have to take the inlet fan and move it inside that corner of the greenhouse, which means I'm going to need my husband's help because he's most likely going to have to lift the greenhouse a little bit. He didn't look too impressed by that idea, but that's what he's going to have to do to help me. It is about 66, 68 degrees in here. I'm going to bring the fans in a little bit earlier just because it was quite warm in here when I first came in here. So I want to try to keep it as cool as possible. So when I order the inlet fan, I'm also going to order a couple of solar powered while oscillating fans to move the air around, and another shade tarp. This morning, this bed is being watered by the soaker hose. That bed got watered by the soaker hose 2 days ago, and I've just been putting water on the tops of the bed. I'm gonna take the bug netting down today because I noticed something that didn't quite make me happy. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get up there so you can see it. Probably not, so I'm not gonna even try. But right here in this vicinity where I'm pointing at, good news, the bees are going in. Bad news, they're getting trapped. So the one got trapped and died in there, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna take it down. So that means I need to be on bug patrol a little bit more. This cucumber plant, the poinsettia, is producing a lot of females. Watermelon plants are doing what they're supposed to do. So there's not a whole lot to update on besides that B8 alpha cucumber seedling is getting big. But I got plenty of things that I need to do. Don't know if they're all gonna get done today, but we'll get something done. I have some things that need to be transplanted, such as those rosemary and oregano, and that B8 alpha cucumber seedling needs to go somewhere at some point. I'll check its roots here in just a moment, but hopefully it's not getting too rooty and crazy. Everything is looking healthier though from what I did a few days ago. I haven't been out here since Sunday, really doing a whole lot. So yeah, zucchini blossom. These ones in the front are getting more blossoms, so I'll probably harvest these, take them in so we can eat them. This lettuce is getting, see that? It's getting crazy. But the okra seedling, let me see if I can make this smaller. So this okra seedling is kind of battling to get some sun, and so is the one behind it. So I may just pull that lettuce up all together and take it in. This pea plant is still producing. I'm harvesting pods daily now. As you can see right here, there's another pod, and then down there, this was the one that I said it's just getting big and it hadn't got any flowers. Well, look, it's got its first flowers. So that's exciting. It seems as if the BT is good, because nothing is really looking munched on. Oh, ow. I need to go stretch. Joints are feeling a little tight this morning. That is ready to be harvested. This was one of the potato plants, so I'm gonna get that out and start contemplating what I'm gonna put over in that spot. And in this spot, this one, just in a matter of a couple days, is also appearing to be ready. And so, yay, I can get my bed back. Well, that's exciting. The zinnias are starting to get their flower bulbs in this bed. So that's the current update until I can get back out here and do a little more. I got several early morning meetings and some focus work that I need to get done, so I probably won't be able to come out here too early. Oh boy. Well, there's that. That is the BA Alpha seedling that I just transplanted, and look at all that rooting. Here, I'm gonna make this smaller. It has to come out. Look at that. Garden life is good. Wow. I'm quite shocked, to be honest. All right. I don't got no more situations. These are the lemon cucumber seedlings and the cherry tomato seedlings. And see, I got some natting going on there, but they are definitely ready to come out. And I'm gonna try to transplant one of those cherry tomato seedlings. Now these need to be thinned at some point. They will, just not right now. We gotta see who gets strong. So a lot to do, but won't get all done today. I am noticing that this tomato plant is starting to get bushy. Not the worst thing in the world. The cucumber is grabbing onto the leaf of the tomato plant. I don't want that. I want you to grab the trellis. So let's help you. There you go. Alright, so things are looking good. So I'm gonna go in the house get myself together. Y'all can't see me, but I'm still in my PJs. I did notice yesterday that the watermelon plant, that one has a flower on it, but it's a teeny tiny flower. Nothing too amazing, just this first flower. Alright, so, yep. Oh. Bug netting's coming down today. Gonna get some things transplanted. Get that tube moved. And that way when I order the fan, when it comes, I can just get it put on. Hopefully I can get a video put on. Plant a lot of marigolds right now. If you can get some marigolds from a nursery or Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you go, get some. And also get them transplanted and sowed. And these are seeds, basically, coming up out of the earth. So I just need to deadhead. And what I mean by deadhead, just snip the tops off. And get them in there. But one of the things that I was really happy about when I came out yesterday was just looking at, like, these were the ones that I did my little bee highway. And look how that alyssum has spread. It's so pretty. That was the rosemary and thyme that I purchased, and it is doing good. Same thing with down here, doing good. That one up there is doing good. These were alyssums that I started from seed, and they starting to spread and do good. So, yep. We got work to do. A lot of work. We had greens again. Night before last, I came back out and Bubba, Billy B, and Runt gave us more greens, and it looks like they want to give us some more. We had enough for 2 meals. Hubs had some fresh potatoes and broccoli the other day, so I'm gonna eat these florets when they're ready. That looks like that might become a head in that one, so. I'm also going to do my mixture of some diatomaceous earth, cinnamon, cayenne, a little baking soda, and some topsoil for pest control today. I have not seen more ants, so good for now, but that don't mean they ain't plotting on me. I heard some crickets out last night, so I'm gonna take care of those. These marigold plants are so happy now. Like, look at them. They like, yeah, plant mama. They're doing so good. So let's see if they give us some new action down at the bottom. I don't know. When I purchased these, though, whoever got them grew them so that they could grow tall, kind of tree-like. So maybe they won't. I don't know. Let's check this bed. No new ginger action besides that one is getting a little taller. And this lettuce is getting crazy again. And we still have a whole lot of lettuce in the house to eat. So I'll probably come back out, harvest some more. Today maybe we'll do some salads. Sorry, knocking the camera. So this is also good news. So remember I was saying with garlic, 4 leaves up. So 1 leaf down there, that's 1. Here's 2 that have died. 3rd one has died back. And look, number 4 is starting to die back. So that means that we are likely to get some bulbing down there soon. So I wasn't supposed to be able to actually, well, if I would have sowed with the timing that they said. Garlic until July. Hubs got really excited because he's like, is this garlic? I was like, yeah. He's like, we can have garlic? I said, yeah. He was excited. So again, that one. These most likely, looking at them, will maybe be able to be harvested before summer. So I might have to start thinking about what I'm going to do with this bed. This lettuce is getting quite crazy. Let's take a look and see what's going on with our cucumbers. So this is the Armenian. They are doing good. But when I tell you these B8 Alpha, look at that. Doing so good. So yeah, this is good news. I guess now I'm just really concerned with how bushy the plant is gonna get and how I'm gonna have to train it. But I just might put a cherry tomato and maybe a lemon cucumber in this vicinity. I'm gonna have to ponder on that a little bit more. Alright, so that's about 16 minutes of video in this snippet. Get my energy back. Yay. Cause I'm telling y'all, I be feeling like somebody done gave Superwoman some kryptonite. Alright, so more updates to come. This video may extend into Thrive Day. Don't know yet. We'll see how I'm feeling. Alright, so it's about 10 a.m. Bug tarp is down. 79 degrees and full sun out. Fans are on in the greenhouse. This fan is blowing at full capacity and I can feel cool air coming out. The greenhouse is warmer, but I'm not too far off. About 84 degrees. Everything is watered. So let's see how things do. All right, so the potato plants have been harvested and I need to get tomato cages. And I see this on Home Depot, which I can configure it to a square. I can also use it as a flat trellis. I can also bend it to where it's kind of like zigzaggy like this, and this just caught my attention. So that means I could possibly get a tomato plant put in here and put cucumber next to it for it to climb up, depending on where I position it. So that is where my head is at. Like, I'm just kind of taking a look at the pictures. Yeah. I mean, these pictures just have peppers. And I watched the video.
Support your growing tomatoes and vines with the Tomato and Plant Tower from Vigoro. The tower consists of 4 strong and sturdy wire panels that offer support for climbing and vine plants. Its powder-coated finish provides weather and rust resistance, while its green color blends in with your garden and ensures that you can reuse it season after season. The tower supports plants without blocking sunlight or rain and can be used as a flat panel to create a trellis for plants to climb. For healthy growth and superior support for your growing vegetables and plants, choose the Tomato and Plant Tower from Vigoro.
So yeah, that kind of makes me happy. It's not expensive. I can put the order in. It's about 47 feet high. I just measured it. That's about half of me. So yeah, I just may do it. All right, so it's 1 p.m. 87 degrees. We're getting some wind, which makes me happy because I can kind of see like how the plants respond without the netting up top. Also too, I'm gonna come over here. So this is the west part of my yard, and as you see, 1 p.m. west part of the greenhouse gets full sun. If you notice here, our trees are giving a little shade to the parsley. So this is part of the reason why it's thriving. It's because it's being protected. And that's also probably why Bubba can keep flourishing, because it gets protected after a while. But this is all kind of like by design as well. So at this part of the day, the entire garden space gets full sun. All of it, including my strawberries and mint that are over there. So most likely what I'm gonna do to give myself more space over in that little corner over here where the strawberry bags are, I'm probably gonna move them again to prevent some water from collecting in that corner, because that's where the motor and the fan was for that, for the inlet of the greenhouse. So get some stuff moved in this direction to create some space over there, and it might give me an opportunity to maybe put a big pot back in that corner, but I'm not 100% sure just yet. Again, designing the space and thinking on purpose and long term. All right, so as you can see, that's where the potatoes were. There were 3 plants, so now I have full space in the middle. So I'm definitely probably gonna have to get the towers, at least 2, and see how that works itself out. I'll look at the measurements again, but if I can get 2 here, I can put so here, let me come here. If I can get 2 towers to fit, then I can put one right there and one right here. If not, probably can put one there to start giving that tomato plant some stability. Maybe not, though. I might just leave this as is. Just allow the garlic and everything else around it to stabilize it, and use some twine to stabilize it as it gets taller. And I could probably run twine and tie it from there to there and there to there. Now if it happens to lean in this direction, I can just tie twine or some ties on there. So it's a possibility some things can work themselves out. I am gonna go ahead and pull those lettuce plants up. They're doing lovely. They love it right there, but I kind of need my okra and everything else to get some sun. So let's see here. That's the wind. Pulling stuff and stuff around. So yeah, gonna put in a Home Depot order. Go ahead and get those towers so I can just get some idea for my space and then transplant. But this is also giving me a time to kind of look at how these plants behave under temperature circumstances and sun. So if you have cucumbers and you come out and the leaves are limp like that, it's just hot. That's all. That's just a plant showing you it's stressed. You know? But they don't look yellowish or discolored. They're not wilting, so they're fine. It's just hot. Notice how this one is full sun, but then that one's still perky because it's getting shaded. By what? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the plants or probably the edge top of the house, but it's getting shaded. But they're fine. Watermelon plants love this. So this is their time of the year. They are loving it. And I guess Arizona has just decided we're not going to get a spring. We're just going to have right in the summer. Quite annoying. But clearly I'm feeling a little better. My system is acclimating to this pollen that's in the air, and it wasn't just me. I've had several colleagues be sick. My older 2 children were impacted by it too. Sorry, not paying attention. I was fixing that. See, I'm gonna come briefly and go back in and get some more focus work done, but I'm gonna harvest some pea pods and conceptualize. Definitely gonna get something put right here though, because that space has been vacant. So the next segment of the video most likely will be me showing how I plan to mix the ground cinnamon, ground cayenne, some baking soda together to bring it out and blend it with a little bit of diatomaceous earth and some of that coverage, just to put a layer on top of these 2 beds, this one and this one, for some pest controls. Lots of flies. Now I do have, hopefully I can get him captured on video. Let's see. Here he is. They just kind of hover. Forgot what they're called. They pollinate and they control pests. Yeah, I'm gonna move that strawberry bag and that strawberry bag over where my other ones are. So let's check the temperature inside the greenhouse with just that one fan going, and it's blowing pretty strong still. So it's still getting full sun at 1 in that corner, so that makes me feel good. 87 outside, about 100 degrees in here. I need a better temperature gauge. I got that one from the dollar store. It's been working. Fans are going. What seems to be working is having one of the fans right here at this northern part of the door, and another one on the ground blowing in this direction. I might get 2 more. They weren't expensive. These fans were like $25 and they work really good. So Runt is acting like he wants to give me a couple more florets. Thank you, Runt. Appreciate you. I did harvest my first 3 green bean pods yesterday. So We got some more coming. And lots of blossoms. Hubs is not a big green bean fan. But what I'm discovering is he becomes a fan of everything when I grow it. So here is one I did not harvest yesterday because I felt like it could get a little bit bigger. This plant is struggling to give me flowers. Not sure what that's about. But these other ones are doing pretty good. They're continuously flowering and giving off pods. That's a love in the mist. That's a love in the mist. So they seem to be doing okay. What was that? Torella echinacea. That's what it was. Milkweed for the butterflies. They're still doing okay. And this one seemingly, or what seems to be, that wasn't the right word, a wildflower. I just gotta remember what I put in there. That sprout seems to be doing okay. More marigolds, and nothing's really happened over in those other two. Wildflowers don't really like nutrient packed soil, so I may have to experiment with mixing with some sand or something. I still have not amended soil with my ground eggshell, ground citrus peel, ground banana peel. So that'll probably get done today. And the tea that I started this weekend is done. So when it cools down later today, but before the sun goes down so it can evaporate, I am going to blend some of my More Bloom. So this is 10% phosphate, 10% potash, and potassium is in the banana peel tea. Not that one. I did this one the other day. 511. So this is 5% nitrogen, 1% phosphate, 1% potash. I have a lot of nitrogen fixers with the beans, so you don't want to overdo it with nitrogen because you're just going to get a bunch of leafy greens. The More Bloom is for flowering, and you need flowers for fruit. So I'm going to do that today. And that'll be a little bit later. So I'm going to go in here in a little bit. I have 2 focus projects I need to get done. So I'm going to go in and anchor myself down, and then I'll come back out for my self-care. But before I do, show you my potato harvest. That is it. Look how big they got. I don't think I'm gonna grow potatoes in grow bags anymore. If I do, the grow bags will be much bigger. Much, much bigger. It's because they do better. So, at least before heading in, I'll move those bags over there to give myself a good arm, shoulder, chest workout. And I'm gonna have to do it anyway because I gotta get over there to get that tube moved inside the greenhouse for the inlet for the geothermal tube. So stay tuned. All right, bags moved. So my first observation, I'm gonna have to keep rotating the bag because plants over here will get no sun. Something has been nibbling on the strawberry baby. So I did not spray them down with the BT mixture. So, yep. Gonna have to give them some attention. But they moved. For now. Alright. So, as just indicated, bags are moved. I'm gonna have to get in. I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice, but it's starting to go. And I'm starting to feel a little crummy from being in the elements. But my energy is fine. But this is where the fan is. And when I would wash the greenhouse down, and I thought about this when I initially installed it, but the company said it was waterproof. I should have known better. But basically, there's a tunnel that runs around here, and it's just constantly moist from that, moist from the strawberries. I'm moving the camera around, but all of this was moist, and the fan went out. So yeah. Like I can't feel anything happening with it. So I'm just gonna replace it and take it up inside so it's at least protected from the water. And I could spray down. And this just made me think that I probably should go ahead and purchase the misters that I plan to get too. Just because it's just starting to stay consistently hot. So I'm gonna test one last time. This is the solar panel for that fan. Under normal circumstance, I think I hear it. But under normal circumstance, putting it right there at this time of the day would make it run. You know, I wanted to hear it because there ain't nothing happening. Yeah, it's just gonna be a matter of moving the rocks out and getting it under there. But at least now I got a little bit of a pathway. And what I think I'm also getting ready to do is move this container right there so the door can come all the way back. All right, container moved with a little scrape to go with it. Should have put my gloves on. But at least now the okra can get full sun, which they're supposed to get full sun. So start somewhere. Don't have to be perfect, but just start. Now there's nothing back behind that door to keep the wind from knocking it. So I have to do something about that. But it's not the worst problem because in the last couple of days my little latch has gotten loose. So I might have to replace that too. So, alright. That is the update, and like I said, I am most likely gonna pull this lettuce, like the whole head. Well, don't say most likely, just gonna do it. I was snipping off the edges of it anyway. And that's perfectly good lettuce. So we're just gonna get that off the ground. Take it on in the house. Alright. So my standard practice is have a nice big old tub of water. Get most of the dirt off. And I'll just get them about that clean. It's good lettuce. It's a nice harvest today. Got some berries, some potatoes, some lettuce, some peas. Nice harvest. A little bit every day. And even if you get a little bit every day, less money at the grocery store. And it motivates you to come back out and keep doing it. All right. Get the rest of those cleaned up. And now I'm going in for real. Good morning. Happy Friday. So the video is extending into Friday dirt play because yesterday was bananas, so I didn't get a chance to go outside. But I got an Amazon package today, and this is not the replacement of the fan for the geothermal tube. It is actually a different portable fan that I decided I was going to get. And I'll show you why in just a second if I can get this out. Okay, Tarila, note to self. Don't be trying to open boxes and hold your phone and do videos at the same time. I was trying to be all authentic and such, but that wasn't working. Okay, so I got this one because one, I want it to hang off the rack in the greenhouse. So I'm just opening it. So y'all get to see me open it. It's different, but it does move. And when I say hang, when I saw the pictures, I saw something like it should be able to hang. But oh, there it is. 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 Okay, so I want it to be able to hang from the shelf in the greenhouse. So I have those hooks and I want it to be able to hang like that. So basically, since I am not comfortable with cutting my panel just yet, my hope is that it can pull air. So that's kind of the point of ventilation, pull air and blow out. So move the hot air around. Now, I got excited with the other two fans when I got them, and I did not plug them in. So this one has both a solar panel and that makes me happy because I'm just gonna probably put it on a little south facing part. Oh, almost messed up and didn't see the little hooky deal that comes with it, but I'm gonna hang it. And so there's that. So I'm gonna charge it inside, because it comes with an inside charger too. And put it on the charger and see how much battery life it actually has. All right, and turn on the light too, because that would probably be wise. So I don't know if that blinking blue means it's basically charged. On the other ones, when it blinks here at 25%, it's not really charged. So let's see. So that's the first level. And I guess a good level. So I'm gonna get out my pajamas, open up the greenhouse, and take it outside. It's Good Friday, so it's a work day off. I got some business stuff I need to take care of, and one document review that I'm behind on. But today is all about Tarila's business and getting that going. Wouldn't be the first time I've ran a business, but this one is kind of one of my babies and near and dear to my heart, so I'm doing it very intentional. So today is lots of business related stuff today. So I'm going to do business stuff and play in the dirt. But I'm right now gonna get out my pajamas and take this outside because I want to see how it do. All right, so before heading outside, I think it's good for me to go ahead and make the dry mixture that I plan to do of a little baking soda, some cinnamon, and some cayenne. So I've been doing some reading, and me and baking soda, my familiarity with baking soda and gardening is not new. I used to make a solution for it to pour at the root base of my tomatoes and my cucumbers, and sometimes to spray them down as well. That and Epsom salt, and I'll talk about that later. And then also fermented yeast and sugar. So I'll talk about that later times when I not make this too long. But I've been doing some reading, and my understanding is dry baking soda provides this environment where fungus gnat larvae can't really survive. So I don't know yet. The other challenge here is, which you have to be careful, is that baking soda does change the pH of the soil. And so my plan is to put two 1 ounce packages of cinnamon. Cinnamon is a anti-fungicidal. Ants don't like cinnamon. So it has dual benefits. It can benefit the soil and the plants, but it also can act as a deterrent. So I'm going to put one of these, and I'm going to have to make sure I have on gloves because this is cayenne. So my skin's going to be a little fiery after that. And 1 tablespoon of the baking soda. I'm going to mix that together. I don't want to use diatomaceous earth too much because it also kills beneficials. So I'm trying to get away from using that as much as possible. And I'm going to blend that up with some topsoil. And after I run the soaker hose in the raised beds, I'm going to take this mixture with the topsoil and I'm just going to sprinkle around the top and the base of the plants. And right now I don't have to water the raised beds more than every other day. I had to do it daily when the temperatures were consistently 94 degrees and higher. And that was only because it just was so hot that the soil was drying out quicker. And cucumbers and tomatoes, they don't like the soil to be too wet, but they don't like it to be dry either. So you have to really be careful with that. Now, Yesterday we got in the 80s. Today we're only supposed to get to 74. I have not checked the temperatures. Tomorrow I think we're only supposed to get to 74. So this blend should be able to stay on top of the soil at least through Sunday, hopefully. But I'm not gonna go crazy with it because it's my first time trying it. Hopefully I don't create a disaster. But the fungus gnats, flying bugs, I've been seeing a lot of moths. I got mixed feelings about moths because they're supposed to be our nighttime pollinators. But boy, here they had their little babies, and I don't want to be doing too much with the BT and all that other stuff. So I might get a bug zapper. I got mixed feelings about that. I don't really like moths. I don't. But I don't want to kill things that are beneficial too. So really not the moths is the issues, it's their babies. And then it takes me a little while to find the babies and just the whole nine. And I'm trying not to be outside for hours on end. So I'm going to put this mixture together, take it outside with the topsoil. And then when the next segment comes on, you'll be able to see how the mixture was put together beforehand. But basically, I got this white bowl. It's so dirty on the inside because I be using it all the time for stuff. And then this is in the house. It's a strainer. I'm okay with using it because these are all natural things. There's nothing chemical based in there. So that's how I'm going to mix it. All right, so I put the cinnamon in there first. So I decided to put that first. Then the cayenne. A little bit of a note, not too much cayenne. You don't want cayenne to be down too deep in the soil because it can irritate the roots of the plant. So I'm going to put quite a bit of topsoil in there so it's not too heavy on the cayenne. And then the baking soda. Same thing here with the baking soda. As I've been reading, you do not want to, and see how that's dusting up. But I just want to get that blended. It's like smoky. But that's basically the blend of that. And then I'm going to put some topsoil in it, and that'll be that. All right, so I've talked a lot too about the plant-based dish soap that we use. This is one of the brands. This is the one we've been using for the most part. So I'm also too, this is about that much. And here, I just use this little bottle to manage it. But this is dish soap. So when I talk about using a little spray bottle, which it's low, I'm going to have to do this. Now, I did see yesterday on Billy B, something's nibbling. So I did BT already this week. I'm not going to do more BT. But I did not spray down for bugs just in general. I try to do that at least once a week and mist down. So maybe today will be the day that I do that. But this is basically here, this. And then, so I talked about that little solution that needed to go together with the BT. But basically like a tablespoon of dish soap. They say cooking oil. I'm not using cooking oil. I just don't do vegetable oil. Whole nother tangent. And then I'll probably put up to that line. We have avocado oil here. So that's fine. I've used that, and then about the same amount of BT if I was going to use it. So here with dish soap, and this little bottle came from Target from me traveling, and I just transitioned to gardening. But about there with dish soap, about there with oil, and if I were going to do BT there, but I'm not going to do BT. And I'm not even going to do oil today. But that's what I put together, and then I took it and I put it all into the spray bottle that I have. But today it's just going to be the dish soap. But I'm going to take that outside. But I thought, since I've been talking about dish soap, you might want to know which one I use. All right, so a little after 8 a.m. It is currently 61 degrees outside. Greenhouse is open. About 70 inside, and it's hanging, so I just decided to just take the solar panel and put it on that side, so as it's blowing towards the end of the day, the west sun can hit it. I really need to try to find a way to get that solar panel position where I don't have to move it at all, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. But here we go. And so like I said, my goal here is to just push air. Right now what I'm feeling is that's cool air kind of coming out. I'm still gonna keep that fan down there on the ground. Need to clean up a little bit. Started some front yard work yesterday. And then I'm still gonna keep this fan right here. Now, my head, with that being right there, is there is a possibility too, with the door open, that I could probably utilize, like putting a hook right there. Right now I just have this, so if I'm inside the greenhouse, when it's in the cold season, I can close the door and latch it shut. But let's see. Now, if this is a thing, oh, I might have to get another fan. Just to like be blowing some air in so that the air is actually like moving around. So that's a thought. That's a thought. We'll see. But for right now, let's put it there. And so just kind of test some stuff out. So it's a thought. Now this fan was only $25, $27, I think it was $29. Not bad. Not bad. Intended for camping. But that air coming out of that is very cool. So, like I said, 61 outside, about 70 inside. Now today probably wouldn't be the best day for the most accurate test because it's supposed to be cooler outside, but we'll see. The fan to replace the inlet is supposed to come sometime today. So my de-stress is going to be moving the inlet inside right there today. But I got a business call in about 30 minutes or so. So I'm gonna mix this topsoil in and get my spray bottle prepped. All right, so got some topsoil in a bowl. This bowl is a little more shallow in comparison to this bowl. Typically, I can get about 2 of these into one bowl here. So I have on a glove because this is cayenne. I probably should have put my sleeves on too so my skin doesn't get irritated, but we're here. So basically, this is my plan. And again, that's already dusting up. I'm right-handed, so I probably should switch that. Oh no, it feels better. Okay. I could probably just dump that whole bowl in there. But I kind of want to see little by little, like how this looks and how it's distributed. I still see a lot more of the baking soda, cinnamon, cayenne mixture than I do see topsoil. So I would rather be safe than sorry. And see, now this just makes it a little bit harder to blend. But that's okay. But I would rather be safe than sorry and add more topsoil. Just basically because that cayenne and that baking soda is in there. And my reading says that it could damage the roots. So I would rather underdo it and see how it goes than overdo it. Yeah, see, there's just still quite a bit of that mixture in there even after that. So the good news is it looks like I'm gonna have enough of this blend to at least get all 4 of the beds covered. My primary focus right now is these back 2 because that's where I've been seeing them more, but bugs will just move. So if I make them go away, they're gonna go down there. So there's that. And then because I am preparing to transplant some seedlings, I would prefer to start dealing with stuff beforehand. Now the other good thing about cinnamon is that it is good for germination and root development as well. So I feel pretty good. I'm going to probably put 1 more in there, and then that'll be my mixture. Alright, so we're done. 1 extra bowl of that did the trick, but as you see here, it's a little windy, which is good because you can kind of see how it's dusting off. But yeah, I'm still gonna wear gloves when I put this down because that cayenne is just definitely gonna irritate my skin. So before I do that, I'm gonna come and check the moisture level on the beds. I'm not gonna water if I don't have to. Yesterday was a cooler day. Yeah, that one's good. Move y'all here for now. Yeah, that one's good. We're good. So let's do a little bit and see. Well, that's interesting. Just seeing that now. I'm gonna pull that off. It's getting a flower. Interesting. Oh, random and tangential. We're still gonna do that, but this definitely has to come out. Look at that. So I'll put it right there because that's what I'm contemplating on after I go get a cage. Here you go, pushing buttons, but I guess I could say hi. Hey, y'all. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna put a glove on. Do some spreading on the beds and come back and check for the presence of bugs, but this is how bad it's gotten. Those little yellow things are just covered in them, and I'm gonna take those up. Work this bed, go get my meetings done, come back out, work that other bed, and then go get some Home Depot therapy in because I gotta get cages. Alright, so first bed dusted while I get dust on myself, trying to put a glove on. So I still got a pretty decent amount in the bowl, and the bed is lightly dusted again. I didn't want to go crazy, so let's just do some updates here on what's going on in this bed. So the garlic that I sowed in for pest deterrent purposes is starting to sprout. The calendula that I transplanted are all doing good. Watermelon baby is doing this thing. Look at that one. It's doing this thing. I'll walk over there in a little bit so y'all can see more. This calendula is doing fine. My clover is doing just fine. That is the farthest I've ever been able to make it. Like I said, they usually get nibbled. The garlic that I put back here, right there where my fingertip is, behind that tempari bean, it is germinated. And then this one that I put back there just behind the tomato, it has germinated. I'm gonna go in a minute with just some updates. The cucumber flower that I hand pollinated, tomato, it's doing nothing. It looked like it wanted to do something, but it's not doing anything. There's several other females on there that are not doing anything. They didn't get pollinated, so I'm just gonna pull them off so that the plant keeps putting its energy where it needs to go. You don't want to leave them on there if they're not going to turn into cukes, because then the plant thinks it's supposed to put energy into growing fruit and nothing's going to happen with it. So no. Now, good news is as I said, not only does cinnamon do good with germination, fungicides, everything else, tomatoes can also endure a little, cucumber plants can endure a little cayenne on them. This is fresh soil, and they can also deal with baking soda. The good news with cinnamon is it also heals. So right there where I wounded that plant by pulling that off, because that was a pretty big piece, I don't want something thinking it can come much. So I'm gonna pull that off, and I'm just pulling off all of this stuff that's not going to do anything for this plant besides confuse it and make it think it's gonna do something. So I'm gonna pull all that off, heal it, and move to the other bed after my meeting. But thank y'all for sticking with me. Once the females start looking like this, where they're not plumping up, they're not getting green, they just look fuzzy and start to yellow, that means they're dying off and they have not been pollinated. They're not going to do anything for the plant. Pull them off. First year, I got all excited seeing that. Left it on there, barely got anything because nothing was going to happen with it. But I was a first year and I didn't know. Drop them in a compost bin. That plant baby is going to be okay, I promise. Grape beans growing. And attempting to harvest it with my nail. Fighting with the leaves. This was a bad idea. Bad idea. Those are rusty. Don't use rusty tools on your plant. But I got it off. Oh. Don't do that at home. Don't do that at home. More green beans coming. Yeah. I'm trying to hold off and save some of them potatoes I harvested so we can have some green beans and potatoes. The healthy version. But in other news, the second ginger. That was the first one. There's the second one. There's like 5 or 6 in here. So let's look around. See what the happenings is. Nothing, but this lettuce is getting crazy. I won't see nothing, but that's exciting. Another ginger. The cowpeas I just sowed, and the tempari beans I just sowed are sprouting and germinating. cowpea, tempari, whoop whoop, rosemary still happy. These probably need to come on about their pot and go in there. Yup. So I got lots of stuff to do today. Yeah. Lots of roots this time. And they're going right there. Right there. Because Wildflower Highway just ain't gonna happen. Let's go over here and see what's going on. That looks a little bigger. Another blossom on the watermelon. That is a male. If I would have had like a little baby watermelon looking deal right there, that would have been a female, but it's a male. And look, it's already almost to the first pole. So it's doing its thing. Doing its thing. The Molahia, Egyptian spinach, and the amaranth has germinated. So my fear of spreading seeds around, that friends is algae. Light and water makes it build, suffocates the soil. So I probably gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get that off, but that's what that is. But we have germination. Okra. At least 3 made it from me losing my mind watering. That's watering and making water splash around, but I got 3 okra seedlings. I do not remember which ones I put in which, but I can tell you that that is either Eagles Pass or Bex, but they're the bigger pods, but at least I got 3. So yeah. Yeah. Little water on them little pitiful carrot seedlings. I'm gonna have to get some more water, but things are happening. Things are happening. That one little wildflower seedling still doing things. Milkweed still doing things. Marigolds still doing things. My one little love in the mist is making it through things. I don't know. Ain't looking too hopeful. But we got one. That's the furthest I done made it. No more wildflower action in that back tray. Probably just gonna pull you. What? This didn't look pitiful. You don't even look edible. I'm probably just gonna pull you. We get greens one last time. Just one. So, as of now, the fan has not come in. Once it does, I just want this area to be ready. So this is edge door, front part of the greenhouse corner where I plan to pull the fan up. As you can see, this is where the power cord was, well, still is, should I say. So I'm just disconnecting. So it has a cord that comes from the fan, and that's to the solar panel. I don't think anything is wrong with the solar panel. I think that the fan is probably what the issue is. I really believe that some water got on the motor of the fan. So bear with me as I put on gloves to get in here. So, right, I built my greenhouse using a 6x8 kit from Harbor Freight. And I dug everything out so I know what I put down here. And what I'm hoping is I can just move the gravel. This is a cement pillar that the frame is in, and the frame is sealed down on this pressure treated wood. So a couple of notes. You want to make sure that if you are going to build your greenhouse from a kit, you want to get pressure treated wood, because that means it can survive the elements. If you just get regular wood, it's going to rot really quick, and you won't have the durability that you need. So, as I said, I know what I did on purpose. I'm just going to take this huge chunk of our very hard Arizona clay soil, and I can just lift that out of there like that, and I should be able to just maneuver my tube in here without my husband having to lift the entire frame, because as I said, he was not very happy with that idea. So as you see, you can see kind of this green down here. That's just a piece of twine that I tied. I have some soil separator fabric that I put down, and that is just to keep the dirt from really getting in the water. And as you see, this is our dirt, so no water would get through, nothing would drain. This is also an opportunity for me to put something to manage the bugs down here in this corner, because I have been hearing crickets and they like little wet areas. Now, what's making me happy that I'm down here, this is dry. So the trench is under all of this. There is gravel in here. The front part of this trench, I believe, goes about a foot or two down. And this is the north edge here. And that is my east edge. I didn't go too far down, but this is right off the edge of where there is a 5 foot deep hole that is completely filled with gravel. None of that is dirt under. I literally dug a 5 foot hole deep down there. So that's why I can step on it. So I'm coming out here to the edge. And again, I should be able to just move gravel prayerfully and get that maneuver in there. Now, it may not look like I should be able to do it because it's square, but that is just the fan that is on the top of there. So see, this is the twine that I use, and I should be able to just either pull or cut that twine off. I'm going to grab my scissors instead of making my life hard on myself. So I'm going to grab my scissors. Cut that twine, and this is what I mean. Just take that off. Now, I originally did it with like some garden wire, but it just wouldn't hold, so I put twine on it. This is the fabric, so it is a soil separator. And again, the point is to keep dirt from getting in things. And see, this is what I mean. Just take the fan off. And I should be able to maneuver up. Now I'm going to have to put some more soil fabric on here. You can get this from Home Depot or a number of places. But yeah, see, this is what I originally attempted to do. Makes me think about my Uncle Oscar, my great uncle, and my Uncle Pete. They can make stuff out of anything. I mean, anything. So that's kind of where I picked that up from. Yeah, that's just not working. So I believe that the motor just went out on it. Grab these so I don't hurt myself. So once the new one comes in, I will put that portion on the video. I'll try to not make this video long, but it kind of is. So let me see if I can get that tube maneuvered in here while y'all bear with me to take my gloves off. All right, so to give you some sense of what this looks like. So this is basically a drain pipe, a perforated drain pipe, meaning that air can get through it. But it is completely surrounded in that fabric. I mean, all the way down into the ground. But this is the northeast corner of the greenhouse where the inlet goes in. I'm gonna grab this fan so y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about. That is the back of the fan. That is the front of the fan. The front of the fan was facing down into the tube like that. So the point is the air that's outside pulls in, that's hot, runs down into the tube, which, like I said, is about 3 to 4 feet down. It doesn't look like this for right now because it's on a slant on purpose. And it was mainly so I can get it out because I didn't want to have to dig 3 to 4 more feet down to try to get that tube out of there. But it's down in there. So as you see, our dirt is pretty hard. And I have to try to maneuver that up in there that way. So I've already started to dig around. You know, this is one of those times where, can't say regret is the right word, but I kind of wish I would have just followed my first mind, because my first mind was put the inlet in the greenhouse. But some of the research that I saw was that they were saying you could put it outside of the greenhouse because the greenhouse air inside is warmer than it is inside, and you want to try to pull some air in from outside because it would be a little cooler. But that didn't really work. So I'm pretty sure this will work. Helicopter. Well, but what I'm gonna do now is try to maneuver it in. I'll leave it open now because there's no bugs out here. There's none. Maybe I'll just try to do it on camera. Put my glove back on. This is what I mean when I said I was trying to maneuver it in. I did not want my husband. And see, I'm gonna have to dig a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure I can get it in here. And just kind of situate it up right here. Put the inlet fan back on it when it comes in and be done. But I just wanted to give y'all a view. That pipe cost me $16. $16. So it's not like I'm spending tons and tons of money on doing stuff, but I gotta get it in there. So we're almost there. Almost. Alright, so this is about as far as up as I can get it. The cement pillar is on top of it. So the only way I would try to be able to lift it out more is like completely lifting up the entire greenhouse, moving the pillar, re-leveling it, and that's just gonna, yeah, that's not ideal, because then that means I have to, it's just a whole lot. re-level, re-square the greenhouse. So that's like basically moving it in other spots. But this cement pillar is where you can just sit the wood in there, so it just sits in there like a slat. And you can see my husband and I's sawing job. It's not perfect, but it's situated under there. So the only thing that I'm going to be able to do is buy a connector, and I have to go to Home Depot anyway to grab the tomato cages. So maybe I can not look weird and get a video of the actual tubing, but it's like a drain tubing, and just get a connector situated on there and it'll sit up and out. So I'm gonna go do that, and hopefully by the time I get back the fan is here, hopefully. All right, so the fan came while I was over at Home Depot. I have to be quite frank, the wiring on this one looks shorter than the other one. It came with 2 of these. Didn't come with 2 last time. So you test it first to make sure it works. Alright, happy Saturday. It's probably gonna be the longest video I've done, but the new fan is officially put in. I ran out of daylight yesterday to capture a video, and I don't have a whole lot of time to be in here today, but it's installed in and working, and now I just have to keep the solar panels seated right there for now. But it's a little after 10 a.m. about 62 degrees outside. A little over 70 in the greenhouse, so that's okay. Fans are on, and I got the planter cages. So I just got done harvesting the last of the greens off of Runt and Billy B and Bubba, and I'm getting ready to pull them and just at least pop the cages in. And I'll probably transplant a little bit later and give an update. We got some rain last night, so I don't have to water. Yay. So that saves me a little bit of time. But as you hear, outlet fan blowing at full blast. That's nice, cool air coming out of there. Keeping that fan kind of moving in that direction, but blowing up so air continues to circulate. Still keeping this one here by the door, some cooler air being pulled in, and so peripherally that's just sucking warm air in from the greenhouse and getting things moved around. I'm still thinking I'm gonna get one more fan to hang right here in the door, just so some air coming in from outside can move in. But so far everything in here looks really, really happy, especially this okra. So this is the plans. Put some okra and some tapari and the mohia up against this wall to create some shade. So yeah, that's this morning's update. Not a whole lot is happening. Things are about the same as they were. Alright, so Runt is out For perspective, that is the size of the hole that his root ball was in. This is his root ball. So I'm guessing that is about a foot deep, about a foot wide. Sorry, I have my phone in my hand as I'm doing this, but his broccoli roots get that big. So spacing matters. And I'm doing this so that you have some perspective about when we start seedlings and how you can't keep them in tiny spaces for too long because they're not going to always stay tiny. I see an opportunity to be able to move my irrigation. This poor garlic here just got all bent up from rut. But again, I don't have these in here because I had planned on growing it for food. It was more for pest control. If I can get food out of it, great. But if I don't, great. But right here is the roots of this garlic. And that is only been in there, I think I put these beds in January. So yeah, that's as far as the roots of it going down. But that's more rooting down there for the garlic, and it hasn't bulbed yet. It takes about 5 to 7 months for it to bulb. So I see an opportunity here. I just need to figure out how I'm going to get this cage in here. That is that little me attempting to grow okra, and that sucker got fried all the way up. But I see an opportunity here. I have basil here, I got chard, I got garlic, I got chamomile. These are beets. I don't want to impede beet growth or onion growth, so I just may take one cage, keep it squared, and pop it there. But I really want to try to grow a tomato plant and a cucumber plant in the greenhouse. I got some basil right there, so I have some thinking to do. I see an opportunity. I'm just not 100% sure how I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity, but we'll figure it out here shortly. I'm most likely going to have to take this and move it, but for right now, that's where it was getting watered, so I'm going to leave it. But yeah, just wanted to give a little perspective. Alright, so the cage is in. Probably not the best idea to put it this close to the beets and onions, but they should bulb up right under it. This is kind of seated right on top, so I think I should be okay here. I'll try not to press this part down too much, but basically now that the hole is in there, I put some of my Dr. Earth in the hole, some of my eggshell, banana peel, dried citrus in there. Where this little triangle is, that's the cage of it. Again, this may not be the best idea because this is pressing on a beet leaf, but no big deal. Right up on this garlic, but again, if I get food out of the garlic, great. If I don't, great. Point, pest control. That's my whole point with those. So then here on this triangle, I have made a decision. I'm going to go ahead and transplant one of the tomato seedlings. So that is that Western the Texas one. It's a cherry tomato plant. I'm gonna have to be really diligent because my first tomato plants got like 9 feet tall and very bushy. So I suspect this one is gonna do the same thing. But as you saw in the video I took this side to create a little small trellis. And I'm not gonna put that B8, alpha B8 there, or B8 alpha. I'm gonna actually put one of the lemon cucumber seedlings right there, because I only have that little tiny amount of space right there to work with. But the goal is to get this as close to the trellis as possible. Onions can grow with cucumbers. I'm almost certain beets can. I probably should look at that here just to be sure, but I'm almost certain they can, because I'm almost certain I was thinking that far ahead. But the other thing is that this bed can benefit from some soiling up. So getting some more soil in here. So yeah, these beets were underrun, so they're not doing bad, but I'm noticing how this one does not look as leggy as that one and that one. So hopefully I'll be able to actually harvest those before the tomatoes get good and going. But that's the point, to get it here. So I'm gonna try to get it as close to there as possible so it can climb. And this will be the test run of the first time trying to grow tomatoes and cucumber in a greenhouse. And I moved this watering spike here. So yep, that's what we're gonna try to do. Alright, so got one seedling out. This one looking a little limpy, but it's okay. It seemed to be doing fine, and it's in a little tray, so I'm gonna leave it. But just for some perspective, part of the reason that you want to kind of fill your hole with a little food that is not too harsh on the roots is because you want to help this seedling get a chance to survive. So that's why a little bit of food is put there. See how the tomatoes have begun to root? This will be thinned. This is 4 tomato plants in one. Let me kind of move that so you can see with all that rooting. So I chose the one that has more roots. So this is some fresh soil, and again, this is the Omni brand that I have here. It's a blend of some topsoil, all organic, compost, wood chips, things like that, and it breaks down and becomes organic matter pretty good. So I had to put a little bit of that in there, so because it would have been just too deep for the tomato seedling. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a handful of the soil, and notice again, I'm not packing down. I'm doing this on purpose. Just putting some soil around it. And this is a two-hand job, but eventually what I'm going to have to do is stand that seedling up. So I'm actually going to try with one hand here. Oh, look at me. Like that. So it's in there and it knows where to go. Now the first thing I see here is the triangles here. Way up here, the seedling is like very much on the edge of the railing here. And I don't know if I like that too much. So I'm going to kind of push it back. This might be my math, geometry mind kicking in. It was one of my favorite subjects, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold the phone and show y'all. I think a lot of times what kind of bothers me when I watch videos with people is they kind of show me what they did after the fact. I don't really get a chance to see how they kind of struggled through it, why they did what they did. So I've kind of wrestled with that all week. Like, see, sorry about the camera. Are my videos too long? Are they not beneficial? So far, I've gotten good feedback. But notice here, I'm being gentle with it. I just took it out of its space that it's been in for about 3 weeks. And I'm putting it in a new spot. It's already gonna be shocked by that. So yeah. Now today we're only supposed to get up in the 70s. And again, you're not supposed to transplant midday full sun. But the greenhouse is pretty cool and comfortable. Those seedlings have been outside in 90 something degree heat. And see here, this is what I'm talking about with soiling up. Beets are root vegetables. So soiling up is actually good for them because it tells the root to develop a root. And the actual beet that you eat is the root. So here, this is all I'm doing. It's just soiling up there. Should you wear gloves? Yup. Do I wear gloves? Nope. Have I ever gotten sick because I don't wear gloves? Nope. Some itchiness. Yeah. Alright, so I got it in. I am going to... I know what this is. It's charred, so I'm going to take that out so I can reuse that label. This is some... It was from Runt. And we took it out. So I'm going to put some more soil in that spot. And then I have still quite a bit left of the soil that I amended with cinnamon. Cayenne and baking soda. So those seedlings have been sitting out here in this bed, but bugs gonna be bugs. Don't know if you can see that little metal piece, but that was the metal bar that was in the middle of the bed that came with the bed. I just took it off. I am seeing some rusting on these beds. They were not expensive, so I've already got it in my head that I'm gonna replace them next season with a better quality raised bed that is rust resistant. Most likely wood, just because then you ain't got to worry about all that. But I just didn't have it in the budget this year, so there's that. All right, so now I'm contemplating, do I want to water or no? But again, this is just me soiling up. I'm gonna try to get give this garlic a little help, because it's just leaning. So I think this is probably going to be the point where I stop this video at this point and start a new one, because this is about a full week update. And if I keep this video going any longer, it's just gonna get way too long. But I at least wanted to just kind of show the end progress with the update. I'm gonna go inside, because I'm gonna be real, I don't feel like, I don't know, y'all finna be like, wait, excuse me? I don't feel like being outside. I just don't. That's the cayenne mixture. Oh, cinnamon cayenne. So this is just, let me give it some protection. I probably should have put on gloves, because that's getting ready to irritate my skin. But oh well. Alright, y'all. So, thank you for hanging out with me with this long video. I mean, this is a long video, but I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If I have time tomorrow, I'm gonna come out and probably put the next cage in the front bed, and just start from there. But today I need to get grading done. Fans are kind of quieter now because we got some cloud coverage, so the sun is not hitting the solar panels. Bless me. Yeah, I'm gonna get some grading done, engage some students so that my anxiety is not high. And usually I don't do that on weekends, but I've just been so behind. It's been a very meeting heavy week. And then I'm gonna go give my hubby some much needed attention. It is date day, but just giving him some much needed attention. But I'm happy they're in. The irrigation is supposed to turn on soon, but I think I'm gonna run it now, just so those seedlings get a little water. But we're in. Alright, so let's see if I got any updates to share. I need to harvest some lettuce. That's getting crazy. Nothing really new. Nothing really new. Besides the first, well, maybe I guess something is new. And I see an ant. But that is a female squash flower. See that part? This yellow part right here. If something pollinated it with a male, which I don't think that would be the case because there are no males out here open. That's what would become a squash. That's the first one that has blossom. Yeah, there are no males open, so that most likely did not get pollinated. Marigolds that I sowed back in December, direct sow, some blossoms. The Armenian cucumber seedling, sorry, they're getting big. They're starting to get some leaves. I'll thin those soon. Just trying to see which one was going to be the strongest. These are the B8 Alpha. They still going strong. I see a ladybug. I hope that's a ladybug. Let's see. Yep, that appears to be a ladybug. And again, I'm gonna go look just to be sure. But hi, friend. So this is why I say you don't want to get rid of all the bugs, because you get beneficials. So if there's aphids or anything else on there, he's feeding. Now hopefully that is not one of them little stink beetles. But I'm gonna go look. If it is, he gotta go. Can probably harvest a little teeny tiny pea pod. But more females and males showing up. On the tomatoes. They got some rainwater last night, so I expect a burst of growth. Notice that my squash plants are getting more female flowers now. Help that go up there. This poinsettia seems to be doing good and climbing up pretty good. The Romas are starting to get flowers. So everything seems to be doing pretty good. I have no complaints. The gnats are not as busy as they were before. So, yeah, I don't even see as many mites. So the mixture must have helped some. Another male flower on the watermelon. I might have killed the lemongrass. I don't know. But I'm definitely going to have to water you. And then again, this could just be shock. This one, it was looking a little wilted, but it seems to be popping back. I can harvest a strawberry. I still haven't sprayed these. And I need to rotate that bag. Lots of flying bugs over here in this corner though. Lots. Where you going, friend? This watermelon plant seems to keep wanting to grow out. I was trying to get these tendrils to grab, but the wind keeps blowing it away. And as you see here, even with this one, male flowering. The sunflowers are pretty spent. I am going to snip the bulbs off. I don't think they're gonna get anything else here on the little edges. So that bok choy that bolted seed pods are developing. And the other ones are starting to bolt. The nasturtiums, this one's probably just getting way too much sun, and I haven't been out here watering a lot. The zinnias, so I gotta figure out what am I replacing this pot. Most likely some more sunflowers. Lots of sunflowers too closely planted in one spot, but again, that was on purpose. Mexican sunflower seems to be doing somewhat better. I don't know. And these probably just need to get put in the plants. So, as you see, Billy Bee and Bubba, they are ready. The snapdragons are blooming again. So I'm gonna pull those out, but it won't be today because it's just gonna be an all-day job. So yeah, things got a little rainwater. I can tell that things can stand from a little drink, but I'll do it just before we head out for day. But got a little bit of a mess to clean up in there. Garden life is good. Garden life is good. It's so good. So good. Get tall, Zinnia babies. Get tall. Yeah. Go play in the dirt.